It's wild to think that Call of Duty World at War came out over 15 years ago, and yet here we are in 2025, and the game is still alive on both PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. This was the title that set the stage for Black Ops and introduced the world to Nazi zombies, and that gave us a brutally grounded take on World War II combat. It's gritty, it's nostalgic, and for a lot of people, it's where their Call of Duty journey began. But in a time where servers for old games are shutting down left and right, how is World at War doing? Is it still playable? Are there still people out there fighting on Macon, Castle, and Silo? Today, we're taking a full look at the state of the game in 2025, both on PS3 and Xbox 360, to see just how much life is left in this old classic. Let's start with the PS3 version. As of today's check-in, the total player count set at 144 players online. That's not a huge number, but for a game released in 2008, that's nothing short of remarkable. Now, out of those 144 players, about 70 were active in matchmaking. The rest were either sitting idle in custom lobbies or spending time in Nazi zombies, which still pulls a big part of the community even after all these years. But here's the thing about the PS3 version, it's consistent. No matter when you log on, morning or late at night, those numbers don't move much. It doesn't fluctuate the way the Xbox side does. You can almost always find a team deathmatch lobby without too much waiting. It's a smaller group of players, but it's reliable. You get familiar names popping up, regulars who clearly never stop playing. They know the maps like the back of their hand. They've been through the modded lobbies. They've seen the hackers come and go, and yet they're still here, still queuing up. It's the kind of community that's not playing for XP or ranks anymore. They're just keeping the experience alive. Over on the Xbox 360, things look a little more populated at first glance. When I checked the numbers, there were 433 players online, almost 3 times as many as on the PS3. That might make it seem like the Xbox side is thriving, but when you look a little closer, the story changes. Just like on PlayStation, about 62 players were actually in matchmaking. The rest were idle, in zombies, or sitting in private matches. However, there was one pleasant surprise. On the Xbox 360, there was actually an active war game mode lobby. That's really rare to see these days. And it was awesome to catch people still playing one of the most underappreciated modes in Call of Duty history. But here's where the Xbox community differs. The numbers fluctuate a lot. You might log on one night and find several active lobbies across different modes, and then check the next day and there's barely enough people to start a single TDM match. There have been plenty of times where there just aren't enough active players to form even one full lobby. So while the overall player count looks higher, it's a little bit misleading. The PS3 might have fewer total players, but it's a lot more stable, and you can count on finding a match there just about any time of the day. So, in a weird way, the smaller PS3 population actually offers the more dependable online experience in 2025. Now, what do these numbers actually tell us? First, it shows that World at War has officially entered its legacy phase. This isn't a competitive multiplayer experience anymore. It's a nostalgia hub. The people still playing aren't doing it for progression or prestige levels. They're here because the game still feels different. The weapons have weight, the maps have atmosphere, and there's that slower, more tactical pace that modern Call of Duty titles just don't offer anymore. The community that remains isn't chasing skill based matchmaking or daily challenges, they're chasing that feeling from 2008 when you first loaded into Macon at night with the MP40, or when you and your friends first figured out how to survive round 10 in Nazi zombies. The separation between players online and players in matchmaking tells you that this game has evolved into something more personal. Some people are just logging in to hang out, and a good chunk are keeping zombies alive because it's the purest, simplest version of what that mode used to be. What's really keeping World at War going is nostalgia, but it's not the shallow kind. It's not just, oh, I remember this game. It's people who never stop playing it. For some, this was their introduction to online gaming. For others, it's the only Call of Duty that still feels right. And because of that, you can sense a kind of unspoken respect in the lobbies. There's still trash talk from time to time. I mean, it's Call of Duty. But there's also this weird sense of camaraderie between everybody that's left. It feels less like a random matchmaking experience and more like a small town gathering of old vets who all know each other by name. That's rare, especially for a game this old. So, where does World at War stand in 2025? It's not dead, but it's definitely in its twilight years, and somehow that's kind of beautiful. The servers are still standing, the maps still load, and the community, small as it is, refuses to let go. If you log on expecting a bustling, modern multiplayer experience, you'll be disappointed. But if you boot it up looking for that hit of nostalgia, a couple rounds of zombies, or a few classic TDM matches on Dome or Castle, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. The PS3 version gives you reliability, fewer players, but always a match waiting. The Xbox 360 version gives you bursts of life, bigger peaks, occasional odd lobbies, but long stretches of emptiness too. Either way, Call of Duty World at War still has a pulse, and in a world where so many online games disappear completely, that's something worth appreciating. Well, that's the current state of Call of Duty World at War on PS3 and Xbox 360 in 2025. If you'd like me to check in on Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 1 next, let me know down below. And if you still got your old console hooked up, do yourself a favor, hop online, relive a match or two. You might just find that some wars never really end. My name is Lopsided, and I'll catch you on the battlefield.